Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Meg's Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so we are back with another 2024 movie review, and today I am reviewing Orion, and The Dark. So obviously with Kung Fu Panda 4 coming out next month, I want to try and possibly do a DreamWorks ranking next month. I'm not sure. At the moment, I'm trying not to force videos at the moment. It sounds really bad. But I'm trying to go with the flow, and I would like to do a DreamWorks ranking when Kung Fu Panda 4 comes out because I do enjoy the Kung Fu Panda films, and the DreamWorks movies. So fingers crossed I'll get to it, but to help start kicking me off, I thought I'd finally watch the DreamWorks film that we got earlier this year on Netflix, which is Orion and the Dark. So just to give you a very basic plot summary, this is basically about Orion, this teenage boy who has a fear of absolutely everything, including the dark. However, one night, the dark becomes this physical entity, and he tries to show Orion that the dark isn't so bad. I'm not going to say any more on that. I'm not going to, well, I say I'm not going to. I'm going to try and not spoil this movie for some people, because I do try and stay as spoiler-free as possible, but obviously sometimes that doesn't happen, so yeah. So let's get into my thoughts on Orion and the Dark. Now, I think this is actually a really fun little plot. I like the fact it's to deal with the dark and sort of like people's fear of the dark, especially at a young age. But not just that, sort of like exploring the different things that happen at night and things like that. And I like how they had little entities as well for certain things during the night. But I also like the fact that you've got this battle between dark and light, in a sense. So it's sort of like you're seeing this sort of like rivalry between dark and light. I will say light didn't play a massive part in the film so much, not until right near the end, which is okay in a sense. I get this is all focusing on the night, but at the same time, would have been cool to see a bit more with the light, but, you know. Some of these films, like, especially when it's straight to streaming, they don't exactly hit all the good points. Another thing as well for me, this film was very up and down. So it sort of started off sort of like very slow, bit boring, but then as soon as the dark came in, it got a bit better. But then it went a bit odd again. Then it went better, odd, better, odd. So it's a very up and down film for me. Like, the good moments were good when they were there, but then it sort of went downhill a little bit at points, and it was sort of very up and down, sort of like, I don't know. It was an okay film. I mean, there's a couple of DreamWorks films that I'd probably put lower than this. But this is definitely one I don't know if I'd return to that often. Maybe if I'm away somewhere and I need a random film to put on in the background or something like that, then maybe I'd put it on again. But it's not absolutely terrible. Like I said, it deals with certain things, and I think that's quite good that they did that. Orion as a character does start off annoying, but he does get better as the film goes on, which you would expect in this film. So I will say this, the plot is a bit predictable in a sense, but what would you get with a kids movie like this? I think it's cool that DreamWorks did something that wasn't a sequel, that it was an original film, so I thought that was pretty cool. The animation is fun as well, not as creative as when they did Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, but it was still fun. It was sort of like your typical animation. It wasn't anything too special, but you know what, it was an okay film. It wasn't absolutely terrible, but like I said, this was a streaming service film, so I can see why they did that, because I don't think this would have done so well in the cinema. I'm not gonna lie. I think it is definitely one of those where it's like it was made for streaming. But I'm glad I have given it a watch, because like I said, there were certain moments that were quite good, and unfortunately gets overlapped by some of the meh things. But Orion and the Dark was okay. Oh, and also the whole dream sequence thing. There's something that goes on with dreams at some point. It does get a bit confusing, especially near the end, because you're trying to decide what's reality and what isn't. But aside from that, it was a okay watch. I needed to film. I needed to watch a film before work, just as a little distraction. And I thought, why not put this on? And yeah, it was okay. It was nothing great, nothing special. But to be honest, there's a film that I'd put below this from DreamWorks that we got last year, which might surprise some people, which you'll see when I eventually do my DreamWorks ranking. But for now, this was just okay. So my final score for this film, I gave it a 4 out of 10. It was going to be a 3.5, but then there was a certain moment that made me push it to a 4. Like I said, this is one that I'd probably put on in the background where I wouldn't need to focus on it, sort of like background noise. But I don't know if I'd watch it in full again. It's one of those, maybe if I leave it for a while, but yeah, it was okay. Nothing great, but yeah, not what else I can say on that film. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this review of Orion in the Dark. I can't speak lately. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post, and also leave me your comments and thoughts on this film. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? And also let me know what your favourite DreamWorks film is. I'd love to know what people would put as like their either top 1 or top 5. Top 5, let me know your top 5, because I'd love to see sort of like preemptively before I do my ranking where I'd put some of these films. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.